Okay, well, apparently this week we're being rushed by Mike because he's watching the Celtics game and first quarter's over and it's a tight draw. So welcome to Scissors and Scrubs.
Well, hurry up.
I'm Laura.
Speak fast. No, I'm Nicole.
Actually, no, I'm Nicole. That's Laura. Well, this is around Thanksgiving week, and we thought we'd have a little fun with it.
Yeah, sure.
A little fun with it. You've had some turkey. You've had some stuffing. You've jammed pounds of potatoes into your face.
Literally my favorite day of the whole year.
Pumpkin pie. My daughter is very upset because we're going to go and have Thanksgiving dinner on a submarine this year.
I cannot fail.
I know. It's going to be pressed turkey and shit.
I need to FaceTime.
Oh, I'll FaceTime you.
Okay.
If I'm allowed to, because I had to send my passports in so we could get on the submarine. So boys, I'm coming down.
Pictures.
I will do my best. I'll definitely send you a picture of the fucking meal.
Have the boys send pictures. The boys, I bet, will figure out a way to send pictures.
I'm sure. I just have to make sure I'm not in an area like I could probably do it in the galley because nobody gives a shit about a galley.
Yes, have the boys listen. Send pictures. I need to see what's happening down there on Thanksgiving.
Vienna is not happy.
Oh, I know.
She wants her. So I have to cook another Thanksgiving dinner when we come back.
I'm sure I told you she could stay here.
Oh, she'll go. She's going.
I know.
But she's not happy about it. So you've shoved pumpkin pie, apple pie, all the shit into your face.
It's just the best day. And you've had dinner.
Yeah.
And then you sit at the table and you have a dessert. And
then
I bring out the Elm Street Bakery scally bread, and then we have the turkey sandwiches
with a little cranberry on top, and then you want to button your pants, and you want to take a little nap, so you're going to sit down to a good old-fashioned movie. And the movie of choice you're going to watch is going to be The Wizard of Oz, which is the movie I hate the most. That and Sound of Music. Fucking hate them both.
I hate the Sound of Music. I can't even get through the first 5 minutes of Sound of Music.
People look at me like, how can you hate those movies? I'm like, I fucking hate them.
I literally say all the time that I hate the Sound of Music. However, I do like The Wizard of Oz.
I do not like The Wizard of Oz. Never have. I do like the book. Wicked.
I don't think I ever read. Oh, I love Wicked.
The play was good, but the book is even better.
Yeah.
And the Wizard of Oz book is different than the movie.
Yes,
it's a little darker. So I never really was a big fan. I like musicals, but I need like upbeat musicals. I need good music.
I think because we had it taped off TV with commercials, it helped break it up.
Because
I never watched
a movie in the world.
It was we only had movies that my mother taped off the TV.
Oh, my mother bought every fucking tape.
Couldn't, Nicole.
Her VHS has broken and she's looking for another one.
Oh, God, help us.
So I'm like, well, I think Amazon still sells them.
Well, we couldn't buy the movies. Yeah. So my mother had to tape them and there was commercial breaks. So, you got, it didn't take that long to watch the full movie. I don't care
how many commercial breaks are in it. I fucking hate The Wizard of Oz.
It couldn't have been that long because it was on TV. So.
Well, I didn't like it.
There was things I'm sure cut out.
I don't like it. Though I do like the song one, Over the Rainbow.
I hated when the monkeys flew out of the castle. I hated that. I can still picture it.
The monkeys were the fucking weirdest, most bizarre. Like, this guy was clearly on drugs when he wrote The Wizard of Oz. Clearly on drugs. Yeah. Those monkeys are disturbing.
Scary.
They're disturbing. I'm not going to go into everything else about that movie. I think it's disturbing, but the monkeys are disturbing.
Very.
So we're talking about all the crazy mishaps from The Wizard of Oz, because I happen to be scrolling through TikTok and they're like, did you know on The Wizard of Oz this happened and this happened? So we're going to talk about all the weird shit that happened on the set of The Wizard of Oz, which was filmed in 1939, the year that my mother was born. So we're talking 84 years ago.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Filmed in 1939.
You know what also I didn't like that? I'm just going to bring this up because I've had a few beers. Dorothy's hair was in these curls over her shoulder. I always thought they looked like poop.
Not only did they look like poop, but if you watch the movie, they create different lengths throughout the whole movie. Her hair grows and gets shorter through the whole movie.
I thought they looked like poop. Well, because it took years to film.
No, it's because of the heat.
Oh.
They kept tying them up.
I hated the look of them. It always made me think of poop.
I just thought she was really fucking annoying. I thought she was annoying. I wish the house had crushed her.
Oh my God.
She was annoying. Oh, Toto. Oh, my Toto. It was fucking Toto. I fucking hated her.
Well, you're going to feel real bad when I tell you about her.
Well, I identified to the witch. All right, let's just say that. That poor lady.
Shocker.
So we're going to start off with the witch.
Okay.
The Wicked Witch of the West.
I liked Galinda.
Galinda, the Good Witch.
Good Witch of the
Good
East.
Witch. Well, the Wicked Witch of the West, if you read Wicked, is very misunderstood. She's played by Margaret Hamilton and her stunt double, Betty Danko. Poor Margaret Hamilton had such a stigma for being the Wicked Witch, that for years kids would not go near her. Like
she was scary. Like
she was fucking
her
scary.
face was like, you are a wicked witch.
They get into this like, and they're like, these people couldn't eat in the whatever. Like say it was MGM that filmed it. I can't remember who filmed it. They couldn't eat in the community lunchroom because it was so scary looking. People wouldn't sit with them, so they had to eat by themselves. Okay. So the director of Wizard of Oz is Victor Fleming. He wants the famous exit in line, "I'll get you, my pretty, and your little dog, too."
So scary.
He wants it delivered all in one shot.
Of course.
All right? So he wants the witch exiting, and if you watch it, she exits in a cloud of smoke and flames. Okay? So to achieve this stunt, Margaret Hamilton would spin through the smoke onto a platform that drops when the flames come out. And she would disappear before the flames come out. Flames. She did not want to do it. She wanted her stunt double to do it, but he insisted that she is the one to do this. So the first take they do, fine, no problem. Don't see my pretty and your little dog too. Down she goes. But he wants another one in the bank just in case something happens to this one. 4 takes in, it's still not done. Hamilton says, Fleming says, quote, "I want this shot done right, and I want it done right now." Oh. So
he's a charmer.
He's a real charmer, this piece of shit. I'm just thinking things weren't pretty to be a movie star back in the 30s. I'm not gonna lie. No. So when this shot happens, this is the 5th shot. Hamilton says her line. She swings, but the door does not drop before the flames come out, and she catches fire.
Oh my God. The actress.
She suffers 2nd-degree burns on her face and 3rd-degree burns on her hands.
Oh my God.
But the bigger problem is she's green with copper-tinted makeup that melted to her face. God. The only way to get copper-tinted makeup off of her face was with acetone or alcohol.
On the burn.
Oh, God. So she is forced to have her face scrubbed with acetone after suffering second-degree burns on it. One stagehand recalls all he could hear was her screaming, not from the burns, but the alcohol on the burns.
Yeah.
He's like, I can still hear her screaming. She recalls, "I'll never, as long as I live, have anything that takes my breath away like that much pain."
I bet.
So it takes her 6 weeks to recover before she comes back to work.
Oh, my God.
So she comes back to work. Victor Fleming wants her to do the skywriting scene when she's on the fucking room and she's writing. What does she write? "Get you, Dorothy," or
something
"You're
like
dead,"
that.
or
Something
"You
dark.
suck."
Yeah.
I fucking hate you, Dorothy.
Yeah.
Something like
Bitch.
that, right?
Yeah.
You're a cunt. Oh, did I say that? Oh, I'm sorry. So he's like, "We'll give you a fireproof costume. You're going to do the skywriting scene." She's like, "Fuck you, Fleming.
Hard no.
I'm not doing it. It's
Yeah,
a hard
hard
no. Ain't doing it." So poor Betty Danko's asked to do the same scene. So they're initially rehearsing the scene with Buddy Gillespie. Yep, I said that right. Buddy Gillespie. That's how
I was
you say
like,
it.
no, you didn't.
Yeah, Gillespie. He is the 2nd director under Victor Fleming.
Okay.
And what he does is puts her on the broomstick, and he has the pipe is on the side of the broom, the smoke pipe.
Okay.
They pin her cloak over the side of the pipe. So this is the safer way, believe it or not.
Really?
Yep. So you can't see it.
Uh-huh.
Victor Fleming comes in. He's like, "Fuck that. I want her cape billowing in the wind," as she's writing this scene. So they have to now take the pipe and hide it, and they hide it under the broom. On the 3rd take of this, the pipe explodes.
Oh, my God.
It felt as though my scalp was coming off. I guess that's because my hat and my black wig were torn loose. They found them days later on the top of the stage. The explosion had blew me off the broomstick. I managed to grab it with both hands and throw my leg over it. So she's hanging up in the air off of this fucking broomstick.
God.
I hung upside down while the men handling the wires lowered the broomstick to the floor and put me face down on the stage.
Oh, my God.
While I lay there on the floor waiting for the ambulance,
Oh, my God.
the fucking wardrobe woman comes over running, and she's like, "What'd you do with the hat? I need to return that."
Oh, my God.
Fucking people. She spent 2 weeks in the hospital with a 2-inch deep burn on her leg. And another stunt woman was brought in.
Yeah, because it probably blew right into her leg.
Into her leg. And so another stunt woman was brought in to finish the scene.
Oh.
So that is the tale of the poor wicked witch
Dear God.
who took a beating from a broomstick
All
and
right.
some flames.
I mean, she scared me and scarred me through childhood, but I guess I
She
feel
was something,
kind of
but
bad
she did
for
a
her.
good fucking job.
She did. I mean,
I was more scared of her as the woman on the bike when they were in Oklahoma. Oklahoma? Where was she?
No, she was fucking scary on the bike.
She's scarier on the bike than as a
Right.
witch.
Yeah.
Where were they? Were they in Oklahoma?
No, Kansas.
Kansas. I'm not Kansas. How could I forget that?
Not
I'm
in Kansas anymore, Toto. Okay, so I did. All of this comes from the dark history behind
Yes, I
The
got
Wizard of Oz that no one talks about by Lisa Reggio in Collective.world.
Ditto.
All of our information. So I did first the Tin Man.
Oh, the Tin Man. The
Now
poor
all I
fucking
heard
Tin-
about is the Tin Man died. The Tin Man died. The Tin Man died. Not true. I also got this from sciencing.com, cdc.gov, thethings.com, and grange.com. Buddy Ebsen, best known for his role in the Beverly Hillbillies.
He was
I
Grandpa.
didn't know
Yeah,
it was that
he was
guy.
Grandpa.
Was originally
I've watched every fucking black and white movie ever made before 1960.
Yeah, it's really sad.
I knew who Buddy Epson was.
Of course he did.
Emily.
Best known for his role in that Beverly Hillbillies.
His grandpa.
Beverly Hillbillies was originally slated to play the Scarecrow, but Roy Bulger requested this to switch roles with him, and Ebsen agreed to play the Tin Man. So they were supposed to play the opposite roles. Ebsen recorded his parts on the soundtrack and then started filming the movie. So they recorded the voiceovers first, and then they filmed the action part. Then he started noticing health problems. He started having muscle cramps and trouble breathing. He was hospitalized because of the difficulty breathing and almost died. After testing, they found he was having a severe reaction to the makeup, which is aluminum powder. Aluminum powder is made for coating or pigment. It is used for aerated concrete,
Not for human beings.
right, fingerprint powder, metallic paint, pyrotechnics, rocket and missile fuel, like the solid rocket boosters of the space shuttle,
Oh my God.
and thermite. Since aluminum powder is highly flammable, obviously, one of the most common uses is pyrotechnics. It burns very bright and creates different flash effects, like for firework displays. For paints, aluminum powder paint is usually used in electronics, packaging, and automobile coatings. Nothing that should ever be on
Not
a
in the human
being,
body, let
ever.
alone inhaling it.
Yeah. Aluminum powder is the most effective kind of fingerprint powder to use on glass. Aluminum powder is a main component in missile and rocket fuel, the actual fuel. It is easily available.
I loved the 30s, man. They had no fucking idea what they were doing.
Highly reactive and combustible. So it provides a lot of thrust for low cost. So you get a big bang for your buck with
Out of that aluminum powder.
So why wouldn't we want to smear this powder all over a human
And
face?
inhale it.
Yeah. Aluminum powder is insoluble. So if you breathe it in, you notice if it is covering your face and your mouth, like as if your face was painted with it, it will not be fully absorbed, but will interfere with the clearance mechanism of the lungs. So if you breathe this shit in, nothing's going to absorb it. It's just going to lay over it so you can't absorb oxygen. High levels of exposure may result in aluminosis, which causes pulmonary fibrosis. It clogs your lungs and causes scarring. It can also cause hormone imbalances, organ system toxicity, and irritation of the skin and eyes. So poor Ebner couldn't breathe because he had aluminum powder clogging his lungs. So he's hospitalized for 2 weeks and needed to recover for another 4 weeks after that.
Yeah. Recast.
Yeah. So he can't stay in the role. So Jack Haley took over the role. So this poor Ebner goes through all this shit.
Epson. Buddy Epson.
Oh, I have Ebner. Okay.
It's Epson.
So he can't even do this. He goes through all this shit. He can't even do the role. So Jack Haley takes over. Everything had to be re-recorded and refilmed. They did not tell anyone why Ebsen was no longer Tin Man, but they did change
The powder.
the Tin Man makeup from aluminum powder to an aluminum paste. So it's not as like
Aerosol.
Jack Haley did develop an eye infection from the paste, but recovered in 4 days. He also could not sit in the costume because it was the tin. So he had to be propped against a wall to rest. Like, so
there's a picture of, you see them, like all these women in these fancy costumes, they're on leaning boards.
Yeah. He's leaned against things throughout the day to rest because he cannot sit the whole day long because he's in this Tin Man costume.
Could you imagine how uncomfortable that would be?
Yeah. So that was the Tin Man.
Well, everybody else I have after the witch is a little quick. The monkeys, which most people were terrified of, the fucking flying monkeys.
I hated those goddamn monkeys.
I didn't like the costumes.
Mm-mm.
I don't like the monkeys. And when I watch A Christmas Story every year, I still don't like the flying monkeys because they're in it.
I don't like when they go.
Yeah, I don't like humans acting like that. I think it's silly.
Yeah,
I don't fucking like
it's
it.
uncomfortable.
But how do you get humans to fly? You attach them to piano wire, Laura, and you hang them around the stage, and they fly. So the monkeys were all injured during the filming of the haunted forest scene, which I don't...
All injured?
A lot of them were injured because the piano wire that was holding them all up fucking snapped.
Oh, Jesus.
And they plummeted to the stage below. Fortunately, they weren't that high, so nobody died.
Thank God.
But many were injured because they had used piano wire instead of like real wire to hold them. Because piano wire really is
cheaper, probably.
Of course.
Yeah.
Imagine what they were spending in 1939 during the Depression to make this movie.
Crazy.
It's crazy.
And it was like, it took them years to film this shit.
Yes. So that was my monkeys. I told you, very fucking quick.
So I took gymnastics in Revere.
Oh, really? Where?
In a garage in Revere.
Oh, a garage.
Again, we didn't have money.
I know.
So it was in this guy's garage. It was near the Garfield School.
Mm-hmm. It sounds dirty.
Yeah, I know. But you went in and they had this, like they had all different things, like the uneven bars, like all this shit. It was great. I loved it. Then they had this belt that they would put on your waist, and it was attached to two things.
A piano wire?
From the, I don't know what it was, but it was attached to the ceiling. And you would run and take off and do like all these flips. It was like the best thing you've ever done in your life. I will never. It was like a weightlifter's belt.
I know exactly what you're talking, because I think they still use stuff like that.
Probably, but it was like that's when you said that I was like, oh, I bet it felt like this. Like it was
I don't think it felt anything like that for these poor fuckers that were getting paid like $20 a day.
It was my favorite thing ever. Anyways, next I did The Lion.
The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
Mm-hmm. I'm probably not going to say this right. Burt Lair played the Cowardly Lion.
Oh, let me at him.
He made me crazy.
He made me crazy.
I didn't like him.
I hated the movie.
I liked the movie. I didn't like the Lion.
I hated the movie. Let me at him. Let me at him.
Yeah, I hated that. The lion costume was made from real lion hide.
That's so fucking... You know what? I'm not going to lie. Of all the shit I read about this, that bothered me the most.
Well, it's the 1930s, Nicole.
But
so you could just skin a lion and use it for a costume.
That's so upsetting to me.
Real lion hide. So it was super heavy and hot.
Oh, yeah.
It weighed around 90 pounds, the costume.
Could you imagine walking around with 90 pounds?
No, all day.
I wear lead in the OR.
Which is probably
It's not 15. As much as that.
Right.
And I'm miserable doing that.
He would sweat so much that it took 2 people to wring the sweat out and dry it every single
he was a big dude.
Day.
He was a big dude to boot.
That was 2 people's job every day was to wring the lion hide out.
The sweat
out of it and then hang it up to dry.
Well, it was the Depression. You'd do anything for that.
His makeup was also very time consuming. So he was allowed in a liquid diet only as not to mess up the makeup.
He must have lost a fuck ton of weight.
He would have broth, smoothies, and milkshakes.
Oh, how very ahead of his time.
Yeah, but years into the production, because it took years, he demanded lunch and made them touch up the makeup eventually.
Yeah, I don't blame him.
Yeah.
Imagine living off that for days.
No.
For weeks, months,
years.
Yeah, no.
So he was suffering from heat exhaustion.
Oh, yeah.
Signs and symptoms of heat exhaustion are excessive sweating, muscle cramps, headache, nausea and vomiting, dizziness, dehydration, weakness, decreased urine output, and extreme thirst. To prevent heat exhaustion, you should stay in the AC, which was not available at that time. Stay hydrated which he was only allowed to drink so that at least he was hydrated. Wear loose-fitting clothes. He couldn't. He had to wear a fucking lion hide.
Real lion hide.
Yeah. And stop and rest if doing strenuous activities. The suit weighed 90 pounds, but the show must go on.
But think about it. The reason it took years is because the movie is so fucking long. It didn't need to be that long. I hate that movie.
Well, and they maimed everybody in it, so they had to let them recover and then come back to work.
It did take weeks for people to recover. All right, so now we're going to move on to the poppy field scene.
Oh, I liked the poppy field
There
scene.
they all are out in the poppy field scene, getting high off the opium.
Hey, whatever.
Laying down, taking a fucking nap. Yeah. And Galinda sends the snow to wake them all up. Mm-hmm. The snow was 100% asbestos.
Of course it was.
100% asbestos.
How many takes did it take to get that fucking with the asbestos loaded to the mouse? I mean, the fire one, when she caught on fire, took at least
100% fucking asbestos. So in the early to mid 1900s, Laura, asbestos was used as fake snow. So you got your Christmas village under your tree. Give me the bag of asbestos. Boom, it's sprinkling snow in my house everywhere. We're going to bathe ourselves in fucking asbestos.
Mm-hmm. My cottage still has asbestos rocks.
Oh, but it's not in snowflake form.
It's not.
It was called white magic. Oh. Pure white. And snowdrift.
Oh.
Snowdrift.
Sounds
Mesothelioma
so nice.
snowdrift. Being made with 100% asbestos. Airborne asbestos fibers get easily inhaled and lodged in the lungs.
Yeah.
These fibers do not break down or dissolve and will cause lung cancer.
I will.
Which is why you don't want snow made of 100% asbestos.
Like, they just didn't mix anything else with it.
No, it was fucking asbestos. Yep. Which, if you have pipes in your house and they're covered in asbestos, as long as it's not broken, they're not going to worry about it. They don't want it to, aerosolize.
Right.
So let's take it and put it in aerosolized form and cover the fucking actors in it for days on end.
Yeah. With a fan, probably.
With a fan, yep, to make it blow.
Yeah.
So, there you go. 100% fucking asbestos.
Nice.
Yep.
God love them. All right, my last one is Dorothy.
Oh, Dorothy. If you've ever seen the movie Judy, tragic.
Yeah. So
tragic.
I actually got her information from elsewhere. Okay. So I got allthatisinteresting.com, medicalnewstoday.com, collective.world, and drugs.com.
She's such a tragic figure.
It's very sad. Originally,
she was almost your age when she died, Laura.
Almost.
Originally,
she's much younger than you when she died. Originally,
just a little.
Casting directors wanted Shirley Temple to play Dorothy. However,
could you imagine her as Dorothy
it's so
for one?
Weird to me.
I don't even think she can sing like that. Sorry,
it's so weird to me. However, Shirley Temple backed out because she didn't think she could do it perfectly and didn't want to jeopardize her career.
I don't blame her.
So she backed out.
Smart move.
Yep.
No asbestos for Shirley.
So Judy Garland got the role. When filming began, Judy was 16. Directors were not happy with her appearance. They wanted her to look like Shirley, younger and thinner. They forced her to lose 12 pounds and wear an extremely tight corset to hide her more quote-unquote adult figure. She was told she was fat and put on a strict diet of black coffee, chicken soup, and cottage cheese.
Black coffee.
She was 16. Judy also started smoking and would smoke up to 80 cigarettes a day.
At 16?
Mm-hmm. To keep her appetite down.
Because it's an appetite. Get the fucking cigarettes would have gotten her.
They used a stand-in for the infamous scene of her clicking her red shoes together.
Yeah.
Because her legs were too fat.
Oh, come on.
Yep. She was also prescribed amphetamines to keep her weight down and barbiturates so she could sleep because the amphetamines will keep you up. Because they worked very long days, and then they'd give her barbiturates. She'd fall asleep, wake up, give her amphetamines.
At what cost?
Amphetamines work by activating the brain and peripheral sympathetic neurons, which trigger fat breakdown. They suppress appetite, increase wakefulness, and stimulate activity. They were commonly used for weight loss in the past, but they were found to cause malnutrition, psychosis, and depression on withdrawal. Amphetamines are used to treat ADHD and narcolepsy. Adverse effects include restlessness, acne, and blurred vision. Rare side effects include seizures, heart problems, psychosis. Amphetamines are highly addictive. They are not amphetamines that people would know are like Ritalin, speed. They keep you up. They keep you going. Barbiturates, which they give her to sleep, are central nervous system depressants. They were commonly used until the 1970s when they were superseded by benzodiazepines. They were used as a treatment for insomnia, anxiety, and seizure disorders. They enhance the action of GABA, which is a neurotransmitter that inhibits the activity of nerve cells in the brain. So it just slows everything down. They are still used today for extreme cases of insomnia, seizures that are unresponsive to other treatment.
Barbiturate soon, Laura?
Huh?
Yeah,
I'm heading towards barbiturate. They're used for induction of anesthesia and in combination with Tylenol and caffeine to relieve tension headaches. I did have barbiturates when I was a teenager for extreme migraines, but I also had other things that I was taking. Barbiturate abuse is on the rise, especially with teens, as downers after uppers. Like if a kid takes cocaine, they're going to take a barbiturate to come down. In small doses, the user feels drowsy, disinhibited, and intoxicated. In high doses, the user develops confusion, slurred speech, and staggers like they are drunk. Too high a dose can lead to unconsciousness, breathing difficulties, and death. In the 1970s, many people died from barbiturate use. This is because they are highly addictive is why they are no longer commonly used.
Well, 60s and 70s, people were getting shit. Yeah. Diet pills, all that, like
everything. They could just take anything.
Was it Dexatrim? I think it was amphetamines.
Yeah. It was amphetamines and downers.
I remember the commercials for
uppers
Dexatrim.
and downers.
Yep.
Uppers and downers. Common barbiturates that you might know are Donatol, Seconal, Amatol, Butazol, and Nebutal.
Isn't Seconal one of the triad there of Seconal, for methadone, and something else? Or is it Suboxone I'm thinking of?
Suboxone you're thinking.
Yeah.
Seconal is an anesthetic drug.
Yeah.
So Judy was given speed during the day and then a downer at night at the age of 16. Her mother was reported to give her something for PEP at the age of 10. So she might have been on this shit since the age of 10.
How long was she? When did she become a movie? Like, was this her first big role?
This was her first big role. She became addicted to both, which both are highly addictive. She was told she was fat and looked like a monster. She was given caps to put over her teeth because she was told they were bad. She had to put stuffing in her nose to make her look more like Shirley Temple. This is a 16-year-old teenage girl.
As if they don't have body image enough.
The munchkins on the set touched her inappropriately. A director sexually harassed her. Director Victor Fleming slapped her across the face during a scene in which she was giggling. And she was paid $500 a week, even though she was the star of the movie. Where the Tin Man and Scarecrow were paid $3,000 a week.
Yep.
All of this led to self-worthlessness, anxiety, depression, and addiction. It is said she attempted suicide 20 times in her life. And on June 22nd, 1969, Judy died of an overdose of barbiturates at the age of 47.
And if you look at her at 47, she looks awful.
Oh, she looks so
She looks awful.
This poor girl from teenage years was
Her life
told she
sucked
was
the whole time.
worthless and
she had a voice.
she was gorgeous.
Yeah.
They're making her do all this stuff. This beautiful young girl it's pathetic. They killed this girl at 16 and she lived till 47.
Unfortunately, I think she's one of many.
Yes.
I think the big studios at that time were horrific to work for. Absolutely horrific to work for.
And her mother didn't help.
Well, that's the thing. Like, where were the parents in a lot of these?
It says the mother gave her for PEP. Gave her stuff for PEP at the age of 10.
Because she was money.
At the age of 10.
Look at Macaulay Culkin. His parents sold him down the river, too.
Poor kids.
You know?
Yeah.
My munchkins are very really the Munchkins had so many rumors. One of the rumors is that they sexually abused her. It's proven that they never supposedly touched her.
I think they would like run around and like grab, but I don't think they ever.
Well, that was also a lie. Let me get into the Munchkins. Okay. Nothing actually physically happened to the Munchkins. Those damn Munchkins. There's been rumors that one of them hung themselves on the set of The Wizard of Oz, and that you can see it in the movie. What you're actually seeing is they had imported hundreds of birds, and they put them on the set, and now where you have digitally remastered and everything, if you look at it, it's a crane stretching himself out. It's not.
Oh,
that was
the studio one.
Yeah.
It was completely debunked, Mike. Sorry. No, nobody hung themselves. So yeah, they borrowed over like 100 birds from the zoo and used those.
That would be the reason enough that I would never work on The Wizard of Oz.
Well, these poor Munchkins, apparently your stature has everything to do with everything. They were making $50 a week. They were making $75 less than Toto.
They were making less than the dog.
They were making less than the fucking dog.
How was the dog making $75?
The dog was making a shit ton of money.
Wow.
The dog, I forgot what they call the dog's name, Toto, Toto did have an injury. One of the wizard's guards stepped on poor Toto and broke his leg.
I didn't like those wizard gods either.
No, they broke his leg, and so he was out of commission for a little while. And apparently at the end of the movie, Judy Garland was so in love with Toto, she was trying to buy the dog from the people, and they were like, no, this dog's had enough. We're keeping Toto.
And you're a drug addict
We
now,
love him, and they've already broken his leg. So, but Toto did go on to do other roles, but he was making $75 more a week than the fucking Munchkins were making.
Pathetic.
And like you said, Judy Garland was getting $500 a week, while the men were getting $3,000 a week. So the Munchkins, there's really not much to have said about them except how poorly they were getting paid, and supposedly like they got recognition years later. They got a star on the Walk of Fame. But like, think about where we've come since the 30s on like handicapped people and disabilities and stuff. Imagine how they were treated because of their stature back in the day. Like it must have been awful to be them. They were probably, treated as less than nothing. So The Wizard of Oz does not sound like it was a wonderful place to work. I had also heard that the makeup that they used on the Scarecrow stained his face. Yeah. So for like 6 months, you could see the nose and the eyes on his face, and he was walking around like that. It was like terrible. So just a couple of more reasons why I hate the fucking Wizard of Oz. I just hate this movie.
I still like the movie.
I hate it. Do 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 do. They went with that stupid song they sing. They're singing a song.
We're off to see the wizard.
No, it's like
Yellow Brick Road.
No,
that's
they're humming. Sang. They're going do 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 do. Like it's a.
No, it's the same, isn't it?
No.
We're off to see the wizard.
The wonderful Wizard of Oz, because of the wonderful things he does. The Yellow Brick Road.
It's not that. It's less than 2 hours.
It's awful. It's fucking awful. It's just awful.
I liked it.
I loved Wicked.
I like.
I'm never watching that movie again.
I'm playing it on Thanksgiving and making everybody here.
I think you should. I will not be here. Yeah. I'll be stuck in the middle of a submarine.
That's true.
Having pressed turkey.
I'll make all 30 people here watch the
I'm trying to
no fun or games for watching the Wizard of Oz.
There's a song that they sing. I think the Munchkins sing it.
Oh no, I don't like the Munchkins song.
It's like do 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 do.
Lollipop Guild?
No,
yeah.
I hate it. And they do that stupid little and they kick in. The Lollipop Kids. I hate this fucking movie.
I did not like
kids.
The Lollipop Guild.
Oh, it's just awful.
The Lollipop Guild is like Munchkins from Boston.
Yes.
We're singing this song.
And they're doing that like kick.
And they look like real mean.
Yes.
Why are they mean?
I don't know.
I don't either.
And they're yelling.
Yeah, it's like a weird voice.
No, I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. And I
didn't like the Lollipop Guild.
I don't like, no, all of them.
There was another group though. Like there was a Lollipop Guild. Wasn't there like.
There's a bunch of them.
Like
the girls.
Yes.
What were they called?
They were like Flower Pot Kids or something.
Something.
It's a stupid fucking movie.
I like the
movie. It's a stupid fucking movie. All right. I hated it. And the stupid Oz.
I wanted the ruby slippers.
Oh, who didn't want the ruby slippers? All right, I'll give you that. I even wanted the black and white striped tights that the Wicked Witch of the East was wearing. I loved
those were evil. I liked Belinda
some cool fucking
in her
types.
pink.
Oh, and her big
dress.
poofy dress
with sparkles.
Oh
And she had the
ladies and
star on the
children.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she came down in a bubble.
Yes. I loved
Yeah.
her.
Glinda. Jesus.
I loved Glinda.
And I hated her voice.
She talks like a little baby.
Yeah.
I like the Scarecrow song.
If I only had a brain. Do, 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 do. Bum, ba-dum, 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 bum, ba-dum. And then the lion, let me at him.
No,
Let me
I
at him.
hated when he did that. I don't know what it was with this.
Roar. I'm gonna rock and I'll rock. I fucking hate that movie so much.
I hated more characters than I liked, so I don't really know why I liked
I don't know why you
them.
liked it either. It's the worst movie.
I'm like, yeah, I
fucking
hated
ever.
them. No, I hated them too.
You know what movie I loved at Thanksgiving? Ooh, you, pretty chitty bang bang, chitty chitty bang bang, we love you. I love Dick Van Dyke. And the father was in the porta potty all the time, or the
But Wizard
fucking.
of Oz always had like this kind of creepy feel to it. Like it felt creepy.
Because it was a
Because it's a
witch
creepy movie.
No, not even that. Just
in the
whole,
monkeys.
like vibe of the movie was just creepy.
What was
Yeah, it's
creepy? The lollipop kids, Mike? Did they really scare you?
Yeah.
We are the lollipop kids. You're angry.
I think that's what Chris Foley got that from, like that.
I live in a van down by the river.
I think he was doing the Lollipop Guild.
They were the worst.
I didn't like.
And they get the
Lollipop.
stupid fucking curls.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
I think one of them is smoking a pipe when he's
Yes!
I am. And he's like 90. How are you a lollipop kid? You're like fucking
I don't
Popeye
know.
the Sailor Man.
It was weird.
I am a lollipop kid. Oh,
It was real
the
weird.
worst. It was the worst.
Now
It
I'm
was
gonna have
the
to
worst.
watch it again.
I hated it.
Except
I
I
will
don't
never
watch
watch that
movies.
movie again.
Yeah.
And the lion's tail was always up, like
Yes.
swinging around
It
his
was always
head and
swinging.
shit. I did
I
think,
hated the noises he made.
oh, and I'll rough him. And he had the fucking lion.
He was the worst.
He was well, the Tin Man. I thought he was just silly.
I liked when they had it. I always wanted to use the
Tin
oil
can.
can.
The oil can. Kiko, Kiko, Kiko.
I always wanted
There
to
you
do
go,
that.
freezing up. Freezing
I'm
up.
freezing.
If I only had a heart.
I
If I just had a heart.
wanted to use the oil
Yeah.
can.
Yep. Wika, wika,
Yeah,
wika.
I was like,
Yeah.
oh,
Oh,
if I could
Toto.
only use an
Oh,
oil.
Toto, my Toto. I couldn't. I just can't do that movie. I can't. I hate it. I
Her
just hate it.
shoes, her red shoes. And the
I
blue
liked
and
her
white
shoes.
gingham.
The only thing I
It's
liked
so
of that
cute.
movie was the fucking shoes
And
because
her
I like
Blue
bling.
and white gingham's dress.
I like the shoes. I liked her hair. I know you didn't like her hair. I
It
like
looked
her hair.
like poop.
It didn't look like poop.
It did.
She had
There's
double
one
French
point where
braids.
she's laying and no, it's like curls.
They're
Yeah.
because the braids come to here and
I
then
know.
they curl
I didn't
out.
like that. And then she was laying in hay, and it always reminded me of poop.
You're thinking of dog shit with hay in it?
Yes. Yes. You know how I'm offended by dogs.
Well, I was at PT the other day, and this freaking guy steps in dog shit on the sidewalk.
Oh.
Like, who steps in dog shit anymore? Not for nothing. People are pretty good.
Who steps in dog shit?
Who literally steps in dog shit on cement anymore?
What is wrong with
It's
you?
not like he was in a field. He was out in front of the fucking
You
place.
couldn't
it was
see it on
cement.
the white cement.
That's what I mean. You can't see a pile of shit on the sidewalk.
It's not like
Steps
it's in
in-
grass. So
Well, he brings it into the place. So the whole place now smells like dog shit. I felt like I was back in 1988 when nobody curbed their dog and there was dog shit everywhere.
I remember walking from, there was a store, like at the, oh my God, what's the name of the store? My Aunt Mary lived in the projects at Everett. Well, they all lived in the
Yeah.
projects, but she still lived in the projects. And we would walk to the corner store. Shit, what is the name of that? My mother's going to be screaming it when she hears this. And we would walk there and like get her cigarettes and gum. So we would walk there, get her cigarettes and gum, and then we would walk back to the
Get
projects.
some
And
Virginia Slims.
no, I forget what she smoked, but then she had to have mint Trident gum, and she'd have half a stick of Trident, just half, with every cigarette. So it was
she was
like
doing her own
it was a
menthol.
menthol.
Yeah.
Before there was
Yeah.
menthols. So anyway, so we walked there. It was me, my Aunt Mary, my nanny, and my sister. And we walked there, and we're walking back to the projects, and I stepped in dog shit. And they were like, oh my God. And they're like, oh God. And they're like, well, step in the puddle. So I step in the puddle.
Oh!
And then they're like,
Now it's
well,
just
now
wet?
step in that sand. And I'm like, okay, step in the sand. And then they're like, no, shake it up. No, rub it really hard against the cement. And I'm like, rubbing it. I'm like, this is like a whole thing, how to get dog shit out of your
The
shoes.
thing is, nobody, like in the 80s, nobody curved their dogs.
No,
70s
it was just
and 80s.
dog shit.
And I was always fascinated by the stages of dog shit. How it would be like fresh one day and you'd walk by the next pile 2 days later.
Yeah.
And now it's turning white. You'd walk by and then it was crumbled into dirt because now it's hard and white. Like I was always fascinated by the stages of dog shit. But you were constantly stepping in fucking dog shit.
I literally will not forget this day because
Yeah.
it was like, oh, Laura, oh no, Laura, step in that puddle. Oh no, Laura, step in that thing of sand. Oh no, Laura, now scuff your shoe against that curb. And now Laura, do that. Like, it was literally, and it was like 2 feet back to her house, the projects. Like, and I had to do all these things with my shoe.
I tell this story all the time. You've heard it a million times. But when I was in tech school, with this kid who really thought he was fucking Rico Suave. Like, he was
I love a Rico Suave.
Well, you didn't like this one. You know who I'm talking about. So we're taking a final. And we're both in the back because he was very, very, he thought he was Rico, but he was wicked funny. He really was wicked funny. So
I almost got in trouble with him.
I got in trouble with him because I went to tech school with him. So we were always laughing in the back of the room.
I almost got in trouble with a woman.
I remember that.
Yeah.
So he's always saying shit to me and I'd be hysterical laughing and the teachers would be like, what? What? Is it me? What? Do I have dog shit in my shoe? So I take my final. I finish before him and I'm like, what is that smell? And I'm looking around and he's sitting like with his foot across his knee, you know?
Mm.
And I look down and he has got the biggest pile of dog shit
wow.
with hay and stuff coming out of it. All right.
Like,
there's
like my heart to my grandma.
That's what, like, there's sticks coming out of it. And I was like, oh my God. And I stopped laughing. Now I can't stop laughing. He's looking at me, he's like, what? What? And I'm like uncontrollably laughing in the back. I don't know how I didn't fail this final because I had to thought I was cheating. And I'm pointing to a shoe and he looks down and he goes, oh, like in the middle of it's dead quiet in the room. All you hear is, oh, and he's like, he's getting new, like paper from his notebook trying to get the dog shit off his shoe. He goes, I wondered why nobody was sitting next to me on the train. Like, because you smell awful. It smelled like total dog shit.
How didn't he smell it?
It was like he stepped in horse shit.
Yeah.
It was his whole shoe. I don't know how he didn't see it. His whole fucking shoe was covered in horse shit. Like, it was disgusting with hay and crap coming out. Well, there you go.
Anyways.
That's the Wizard of Oz, the quick edition.
Yeah.
Send us some emails. Send us some ideas. Christmas is coming up.
We have a few.
Do we have some emails?
Yeah.
Oh, should we read them?
Why not?
Pluto thinks we should read them.
Yeah, he does agree.
Poor Pluto has like no fur left.
So this is from Kathy.
All right, Kathy.
Here is another little snippet for colonoscopy month.
Oh, I should tell you about my colonoscopy.
Yeah.
Because I am now on the other side of it.
So she goes in for her last colonoscopy. She says she's a frequent flyer, so she knows the doctor and some of the nurses as well.
She goes in for frequent colonoscopy.
She must enjoy it, yeah.
Yeah.
And she
just
had
wants
worked
to lose
with them.
the weight.
Yeah, she had worked with them before. So she's all prepped and ready for her colonoscopy. And at the last minute, I said, can someone give me a Sharpie and a Post-it note? She knows the doctor very well. And he knows her, and he knows that she's sarcastic. So she puts a Post-it note on her ass that says, have a good day, doctor. And everybody knew about it. So the nurses, the anesthesiologist, everybody knows. And they all keep the secret with me. With her. So they wheel her in. And in runs the doctor saying, why are all the lights on? Like, the lights should be off because the colonoscopy, the lights in the room are off. And they said, oh, we're just getting everything ready. Like, that's why the lights are still on. So they prep me, they knock me out, and they roll me over, and he goes, oh my God. And they all say right back, right. So he reads the message, like, have a good day. And they were like, right back to her. So he never writes anything back. But Kathy says to, if you're a frequent flyer, you're there a lot, keep everything nice and healthy and clean. And have fun with it.
Well, at this point, I'm probably a month and a half past my colonoscopy, but I had it. Mm-hmm. The prep was not as terrible as I thought it was going to be. It wasn't wonderful, but I did drop by 5 pounds in one night, so I was excited about that. And I was terrified that I had the wrong date. So literally, as soon as I get up there, I was like, all right, listen, I'm on the right date, right? She's like, yes. I'm like, could you imagine if I did this prep and I was on the wrong date?
No.
She's like, well, we had a patient come in yesterday and she was on the wrong day and we couldn't squeeze her in. I'm like, so she had to do the prep all over again? She's like, unfortunately. Usually, she said, we try to get them in. She goes, we were just too booked. So I had said to the nurse anesthetist, I don't want to know from nothing. And she was like, okay. I'm like, I don't want to know from nothing. So they wheel me back, and I'm not, like, this is the first time this has happened to me. I've had a couple of procedures, but this time, as soon as they wheeled me in the room, my heart was racing. I was, like, really nervous about it. I don't know why. I'm just terrified. So I can see her putting the propofol in. I'm like, okay, just shut your eyes. It'll be over in a minute. Just shut your eyes. So I shut my eyes. The next thing I know, I'm waking up, but I don't have my eyes open, and I can hear the woman. I'm like, how many polyps did I have? And she's like, 98. And I open my eyes. I'm like, 98? I have 98 polyps? Where the fuck am I? And she's like, oh, you're in the recovery room. That's your temperature. I'm like, Jesus Christ, you gave me a stroke. I had 3 polyps. They were all fine. I don't have to go back for 7 years. So it wasn't as bad. Go get your colonoscopy. It wasn't a terrible experience. I thought it would be worse than it was, but it wasn't too bad. You got another one?
Yes, I have another one from Kathy again.
Oh, she wrote back.
I don't think I even saw this one. So this is my crazy auntie Kathy.
Oh, okay.
Per her words. She has a couple stories. But first, she wants us all to know, I love you guys and I push your podcast to everybody. I know. And you need to leave Mike the F alone because he's amazing.
We love Mike.
So they go to Curacao for a vacation. Probably like 5 or 6 years ago, she says. They stayed in an all-inclusive resort. They went to the beach, did aerobics every morning, sat in the pool, made friends with so many people. My Uncle Richard is always surrounded by women. They just flock to him. She said there's always women around him, bees to the honey.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, they're on the beach. He's sitting with his friends, I guess these women. And my Auntie Kathy was in the water doing aerobics. And
I don't know why that makes me laugh.
I know. And all of a sudden they hear screaming. And there's a rush of people into the water. And they go by them and they drag this man in that had been snorkeling. And he's unresponsive.
Oh, my God.
There was a nurse and a fireman. And they dragged him up on the beach. And it was like still on a slant down to the water. And apparently they never dragged him to completely up to the flat beach, which my Auntie Kathy was yelling for them to do. He should be on flat land.
Yeah.
They didn't listen. So the nurse kept doing CPR. They were getting tons of water out of his lungs. And then this pink foam was coming out.
That's
so
edema.
She's pretty sure that means that his lungs were saturated. They kept on doing it. And there was no, she says, hot jumper cables, which I think an AED or a defibrillator. In the whole resort, it took over 25 minutes for the ambulance to get there.
Holy shit.
Because they're on this island. So the man dies on the beach. So the woman had to stay there after her husband died for the rest of the week. Like her son-in-law had to come. They wouldn't release the body unless they had cash. It was like awful. Like she couldn't get like him out of there. She said they saw her at dinner with her family while he was in a cooler someplace.
Oh, so this relates to the cruise episode.
Yeah. But it was maddening, she said, and she had to stick around until everything was completing. And I just thought this was terrible.
It's awful.
Yeah. So then her second story is they were on the lake on one of her friend's pontoon boats. And she says, and like Laura and Nicole, I'm an ocean girl. And we take out on the ocean, but they were out on the lake this day.
Ugh.
And her son Christopher was with her. And so he was on the boat and he has 2 little girls. One child was with him and they were swimming. And they're all swimming outside of the boat in the lake. And it's like a nice little area where like kids learn to swim. And it's nothing like too hot or anything for anybody to swim. And she said, anyways, all of a sudden, all I heard my son say is mom. And she said in a certain tone, and I knew he was not making it back to the boat. Like the way he said it was like this, I'm having a problem. So instead she was on the boat and instead she was like, I wanted to jump in to save him.
Which is exactly what I would try to do.
But she's like, but he's a grown man.
Mm.
And she's like, he's much heavier than I am. So instead of me doing that, I took a life jacket and I threw it to him. And it reached like over his head, but he got to it. He grabbed it and he just looked at me and he goes, thank you. And she said, and I knew at that moment I had saved his life because he was struggling. But just said it in a way that she just knew like
it's her kid. She knows.
Yeah. Like she said, he just said, mom. And I knew like he's not going to make it and I have to save him. But she saved him and he got back to the boat
Jesus,
with a life
that's
jacket.
scary,
And
huh?
She didn't jump in.
Yeah, because he would have taken her down.
She wouldn't have been able to save him.
Right.
She did the right thing. You're supposed to throw something to them, not go get them.
No, she did the right thing.
Yep, she did the right thing.
It's terrifying.
Yep. But anyways, thank you for those emails.
Oh, great. Hi, Aunt Kathy.
Hi.
Aunt Kathy's got a great yard. We love it.
It's an excellent yard.
It's a beautiful yard. Okay, so that is this crazy Thanksgiving episode that covered fucking colonoscopies to Wizard of Oz. So
2 drownings.
drownings. Yeah. We've covered everything. Like I said, send some emails our way. Christmas is coming. Would love to have some story ideas. And we hope you have a wonderful holiday. Mm-hmm. And we'll see you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Like, subscribe, rate, and review the Scissors and Scrubs podcast on whatever podcast app you listen to us on. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Scissors and Scrubs. And email us any of your stories or thoughts to scissorsandscrubs@gmail.com.